Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for another Throwback Thursday live stream for you guys today. And we are going to be watching a special one here. Talladega weekend. It is the last day before I leave for Talladega tomorrow. What better way to round out the week for streaming, and what better way to kickstart Talladega week than to watch a classic Talladega NASCAR race. And not just any classic race, one of the closest finishes in NASCAR history. It's going to come down to the wire today. That's all I'm going to say, though. You'll definitely want to tune into the end. I have really not a lot of clue as to what is going to end up happening in this race. I know how the finish takes place. I don't remember what the big one was in this race. I'll probably know as soon as I see it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I've seen that before. But honestly, out of the 90s... a lot of the 90s big ones or the 90s wrecks from the super speedway era, I have a hard time trying to remember like what year like the Ricky Craven crash happened or what year, other crashes happened at Talladega. The Rusty had a flip here before. Yeah, that was 93, I think. That wasn't this one. But yeah, there was a lot of action. It's going to be a crazy race. And it's going to be fun to watch. Rowdy Fan 8, Bentley Potts, Matthew Dorter, Bruno, Wade Zielinski, Philip Moore, Joe C., and others. Welcome into the stream. I will have predictions for the races as they pop up. I'll probably put them in the community tab. Because there is no live commentary stream this week, when it comes to fantasy advice and stuff like that before the race, I'll actually have all my notes ready to go Saturday night, so that way when Sunday morning hits, I'll put a community tab post up for you guys for my don't-haves, my must-haves, and my sleeper picks for this weekend. So if you are in the fantasy league, I still will have predictions. You guys will get to see who my race win pick is as well in the community tab, but no commentary for this weekend. Do we get commentary for Sunday? No, unfortunately, this is the first week we're not going to have live commentary streams this year. With me being at the race. But there will be race highlight videos from the grandstands for the ARCA, the Xfinity, and the Cup Series. I'll upload individual moments from the races that weekend, depending on what happens at ARCA. I might not upload anything except for the full race highlights for that, because the ARCA races on super speedways are hit or miss. They're either really good or they're just like bad. So we'll see. We'll see what that race is. But as far as the Xfinity and the Cup Series races, usually the top couple of like bigger moments in the race I try to upload, as well like whether it's the closest battles, if there's an accident I happen to catch on camera, because I don't film the whole race, but I try to film anywhere between 20 minutes to a half hour of the race as it's going on for you guys. So that will be the full length video, but then I'll break it down into some smaller portions as well. So I try to upload them that night. It depends on what the internet is like at my hotel. They will be up at least by the next day, like Sunday's Talladega highlights, or the Saturday race from Talladega will be uploaded no later than like Sunday morning. And with them being afternoon races, as long as there isn't too much of a rain threat this weekend, they should be up by the end of the night. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Let's get this stream underway. It's a little bit later start time for Throwback Thursday this weekend, and I got to leave early in the morning, so let's get this going.
What the internet is like.
Shut up, Keegan. All right. Yeah, the Winston Select 500 Talladega Spring Race. Let's get it underway. Looks like it's overcast, cloudy. Noah Coleman, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, the Daytona race for ARCA this year was really good. One of the better ones that I can remember. I hope nobody flips this weekend. Oddly enough, I've actually caught them on camera, the couple I've actually seen in person. Well, I didn't get the 2020 big one on camera. That would have been a good one on camera just because I was so close to where it happened for the fall race. I'm not flying tomorrow. I'm driving. About a 10-hour drive for me. Gonna leave the house 6 a.m. Sorry, let me get back. I don't have the chat. Let me rewind it real quick. I don't have the chat up for myself yet. Ernie Irvin on the pole. Wow. Boy Allen, front row. They have fast cars for... Wow, look at how young Tide Bodine is. That's insane. He looks like a child. This is the second race from 1994 we've watched. We actually watched the 1994 Daytona 500. That was one of the last Daytona 500s we watched leading up to the start of Speed Weeks this year. I'll get the chat up. Excuse me, I had to work a little late today. I'll get the chat up on my phone when it gets a little bit of charge in it. And also, the channel for this race, the Racing Jungle. They have about 13,000 subscribers. This was uploaded about 10 years ago, flag-to-flag coverage. Chuck Brown. I don't remember Mark Martin with that haircut. By the way, this is one of the more heavily populated voted races we've watched on the channel. 173 votes were casted for this week's Throwback Thursday live stream, and this had 58% of the votes. The other four races, 3 of them had 9%, the other had 12%. So it was a landslide that this is the favored race of the week that we'll watch. Oh, Jeremy Mayfield in the 95 car. That'll be interesting. Probably forget that throughout the race until I see him. They mentioned. Jeff Burton in the number 8. I tend to forget like how long ago Jeff Burton started in the NASCAR Cup Series. Started about the same time Jeff Gordon did, if I remember correctly. They're kind of coming up through the ranks at the same time. Bobby Labonte looks so young here too. 22 for Bill Davis Racing. Looks like they're going green this time. Ward Burton. I know a lot of those names, actually. Oh, that's pretty cool. I feel like they never used to have that many in-car cameras. I think every single car carries them now, but that wasn't up until like a year or two ago they started doing that. All right, let's get our Talladega week started off strong. We didn't have a Talladega live stream on the video game side of things this week, but wow, look at all the grandstands on the front stretch that are missing compared to now. They've added so many more seats. They don't even have an upper deck, except for just getting off of turn 4. That's the only spot they have an upper deck. We're green. I believe Ned Jarrett, Benny Parsons, and Bob Jenkins are in the booth. I'm not sure if this is an ESPN broadcast or if this is a TNN broadcast. Actually, you know what? I think it's CBS. It might be CBS. Because they covered the 94 500 that we watched. And I'm pretty sure these were the commentators, so I'm going to assume that this is a CBS race. I didn't do my background research to confirm that. You guys might have to confirm it in the chat. Definitely going 3 wide already. Whoa, what was that? I didn't see any contact. Michael Waltrip in the middle. They're not giving him a lot of room. It's very tight. it widened out a little bit into the corner, but on the front stretch, Waltrip did not have a lot of room. This is the oldest Talladega race I think I've ever watched. This was definitely before I was born, so I never watched this one live. I've seen the end of this race before, but that's pretty much about it. It's amazing what this view looks like now compared to what it was back then, 94. It almost looks slower. I think it's because there's not as many frames per second. It's probably why it looks like they're moving slower. The in-car cam. I mean, speeds are practically the same with the restrictor plates on them. Is that classic Terry Labonte paint scheme? Same thing with Rusty. Probably my two favorite paint schemes from this time. Though the Valvoline cars for Mark Martin at the time were pretty good too. Roy Allen in the middle, 3 wide. He's a rookie, I believe, because he was on the pole for the 500 in 94. Dale Earnhardt Sr. going for the lead. He doesn't have a lot of drafting help. He pulled out of line, but nobody went with him. 27. Jimmy Spencer's a little too far back. We'll catch him now. Oh, Dale blocking Jimmy. I mean, it wasn't a risky block. Like, he moved down in plenty of time. But there are not a lot of cars on the bottom at the front of the field. Now they just lost one because Earnhardt went to the top. We'll see how strong Jimmy's car is. No safer barrier. It's amazing they did this. With no safer barrier and how much less like stuff there was to protect the drivers at this time. Absolutely insane. It's still insane now. If you go there in person, it really blows me away almost every time. Because you go to like so many races. Well, I should say, if you've been to a NASCAR race before and you've never been to a super speedway, the first time you go to a super speedway, it is unlike anything else. And I was seeing cars go fast at Michigan. And even when they're packed together on restart for like 2 laps in a row, especially in Michigan with how wide the track is, it can get wild. But it's like that every lap, Talladega. It's absolutely insane. I was on the edge of my seat like the whole race. Like, how are they not wrecking every single lap? Goes to show that there is a skill to it. There's not a lot of room between the wall and the cars underneath them. I mean, it's been pretty calm 3 wide so far. Usually it's because somebody loses momentum and they just try to split him, put him in the middle, and that driver starts to go backwards a little bit. Look at how there's like no campers in the infield. It's like all the camping's like around the outside of the track. I guess there's some camping in the infield. But like nowadays, that back straightaway would be full of campers. I wonder why they didn't have it like that. You know what? It might have been for safety, actually. Now that I think about it, they might not have had catch fence down there. I don't think they did at this time. I don't think there was any catch fence in the infield. Oh, yeah, it is an ESPN race. There we go. First time I've seen like an ESPN logo anywhere. getting groovy. Top 6 pulling away. That didn't take long. Went to the commercial and come back and we got 6 guys pulling away. One thing I've noticed with these older races from the 90s, they're really only able to pull apart like that when they're single file with the front however many cars if a really fast car is leading the pack. Now obviously with Ernie Irvan qualifying on the pole, he's got a fast car. When it comes to single car speed, so out in clean air. I think he's led every lap so far. Dale got alongside of him, but I don't think he was able to lead. Couple big names in that group right there. On the outside too, Rusty, Terry, Jeff Gordon, and then he had Bill Elliott behind him. Rusty wants to lead him. Hanging Michael Waltrip out. Darrell Waltrip's in there too, in the bottom. I think Jeff Burton was in that pack. Richard Petty's in the pack. Or sorry, not Richard Petty. Petty wasn't racing at this time. I saw the STP 43. Threw me off there for a second. Nobody's working with Loy Allen. Or Michael Waltrip for that matter. 4 cars starting to pull away from everybody behind him. They all worked as a team to get by Loy Allen and Michael Waltrip, and now they're quickly pulling away from him. Kind of tell the 19 and the 30 aren't very quick. Oh, 4 wide. That's the first I've seen 4 today. Man, those 6 cars are gone. You would think this is the lead pack just watching everything. It's not. Because there's a 4-car group ahead of this group, which is basically everybody else. 6 cars, then there's 4, and then there's everybody. The 4-car group isn't that far ahead of this pack. Jeremy Mayfield already. Did he drop out already? I didn't realize there was only 42 cars starting the race too. They showed like 7 failed to qualify and there's only 42 in the field. That must have been the max field size, I guess, in 1994. Would have had to have been. Yeah, Michael is going backwards. He tries to fall in line, but then other cars are able to kind of gang up on him. Ricky Rudd's still pretty far back in the field. Harry Gant's with him. Oh, that second group's already closing in on him. Yeah, it's just 5 now, but I was gonna, yeah, there you go. 21, kind of catching up a little bit. I didn't see how long the fuel window is supposed to be. I want to say it's around 50 laps for the 94 race. I'll get the chat up on my phone right now. Sorry if I haven't shouted anybody out that's popped in over the last handful of minutes. Oh, it's at the front too. They are not content. I don't think Dale Earnhardt's content. I think he wants to lead. He knows Ernie Irvan's going to be a championship threat. probably would like to lead as many laps as he can. It's probably why he wants to get to the lead as soon as he can. Ernie's already led the first, it'll be 16 laps at the line. And 73 to go. Mark DeMars, NASCAR Vintage 17, NASCAR Blood, Dale, Stu Isaac, Alabama 90, Dylan Fisher, welcome into the stream. David Niehoff, welcome. We're at the 1971 Talladega race. That's wild. It's only 3 years in. Earnhardt to the lead, Jimmy Spencer, a little bit of help. Got money on the 3-car winning the Winston Cup this year. You pulling a bit from Back to the Future? Hi, Steamin' King 92 Hammer. Also welcome to the stream. Michael Turner, Matthew Dorter, Bruno. And I think that's it. 22 people watching right now. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Our last live stream of the week. I won't be having another live stream until Tuesday next week. I think ESPN's having troubles with their audio or something. Some of their mics... Oh, no. Ernie Irvin got hung out. He just go too far down low? Yep. Oh, heavy damage. Jeff Bodine. That's a hard impact, too. Is there no debris on the track? Looks like there probably should be debris. Oh yeah, there is a caution, by the way. I would have raced ahead of Jimmy real quick, or raced ahead of Dale if I was Jimmy. Give me those 5 points. Yeah, there'll definitely be pit stops. Have a playoff prediction? Oh, Boston. I was taking Boston all the way. They're so unbeatable this year. How could you not take Boston and win the championship? Bruins. Talking hockey. Still laughing at the commercial from last... Yeah. That was hilarious. I had to rewind it on that. I don't think I'd seen that commercial before, or at least forgot about it one way or another. Dude, if I could have Mike Joy commentating my NASCAR races while I'm streaming, that'd be hilarious. Labonte on the inside. Hit him! No, don't hit him. In the game. Hit him.
The drivers have complained just a moment ago. Dale Earnhardt complained to Childress and a couple other drivers have complained to the NASCAR officials, and now they have told security that apparently there have been some objects, can you believe it, folks? Objects thrown out of the grandstand that has struck a couple of the cars up front. The last time
leave it to Talladega fans to have something like that happen.
Struck the side of his car down toward turns one.
Bunch of idiots.
So now security and NASCAR are taking a very long, hard look at something like that. I just can't believe someone would think of that at these speeds.
No kidding. They need to be you need to be prosecuted if you throw stuff on the track while cars go. I mean, it could hit and ricochet back into the stands. Like, obviously, it can cause a massive wreck, and especially at this time, it's so. I mean, it's still dangerous now, especially with the next gen car, it seems, but especially back in this day. No softballs. Oh, 21 slow out of the box. Oh no. Yeah, Morgan Shepherd can't take off. He needs a push. So it looked like he was about to win the race off pit road, and then he just couldn't get going. Stalled it. He was in the top 10. He was around 5th or 6th. Only at Talladega stuff like that would happen, I swear. Yeah, was it because Earnhardt was leading? Is that why they were throwing stuff out there? Like, look at this. Look at this.
A major loss today with the death of Ayrton Senna, and if we were to have a crash caused by some fan throwing a can on the racetrack and any injury at all, I can't imagine the burden that person would carry. I mean, that's just unbelievable that anyone would throw anything on the racetrack.
Get him, Bob.
I came on turn 4 once here, Bob. Just a few laps to go in a heavy draft, and a full can of beer hit my windshield directly in front of me. The windshield lay on top of my hands, so I could steer the car. And I had to slow. Marty Robbins, as a matter of fact, from Country West December, spun through the grass before it hit me when I backed off the cross suddenly. A can of beer right there.
Let's go to John Kernan, who's with Jeff.
Talladega's wild, ladies and gentlemen. And it shouldn't be for those reasons, but it's sad that it is.
You know, if I did, there's been some reports on other drivers that people are throwing things out of the racetrack, especially that last straightaway. I just plead to the race fans, if you're back there, please don't throw anything out. I obviously ran over something, it was a can or some just debris on the side. I don't know what it was, but I just plead to these race fans, don't throw things on the track. It's really dangerous. It's really a good thing I was up close to the wall, Jack. We were all running pretty high. If I'd been down lower, I would have really got hurt bad, but I just brushed the wall and I'm okay. But please, fans, don't throw things at us.
Well said, Jeff. Bob, thankfully, he is okay.
I didn't even, yeah.
Person who's throw something onto the racetrack, the car is not a race fan.
Nope.
Race idiot.
There you go.
In summary, Earnhardt stayed where he was. Spencer from second.
Not a race fan indeed.
Stayed where he was. Marco Nine from 8th to 2nd, and Rusty Wallace made the 3 position move. And once again, that Rusty Wallace did a great job, moving about 3 positions as the field gets the green flag.
I mean, let's be honest, throwing something at moving vehicles like this, that sounds like something like a little kid, like a 5-year-old would do. It's sad that, like, grown adults would do something like that. That was not the reason for the caution, by the way, Jeff Bodine. I mean, he could have ran over something, which said he just kind of blew a tire randomly in the middle of the corner. That could have happened. Jimmy Spencer's been hung out to dry a couple times now. Well, side by side for third. They side drafted each other so much. Look at how far the top 2 pulled away. It's not enough cars, though. They're getting too far out ahead. Once they're not side by side for third anymore, it's going to be tough. Jimmy Spencer's holding on strong. That 27 car's got some speed. Rusty's got a big run. He's getting a draft off Jimmy. He's probably going to take him 3 wide if he gets to him. Who's that, the 15 right on his bumper? Little bump draft. Big run. Is he taking it 4? He's going to stay at 3. He stayed patient. Very early still. Bricks at my wife when she's coming up to try. Jesus. Oh my gosh. You do it out of love though, correct? I do it because I love her. Hendrick fans, thanks for tuning in. Ooh boy. Jimmy Spencer making some moves. He's been working with Earnhardt a lot in this race, I've noticed. Ernie's back in the top 3. Todd Bodine. Todd Bodine had some good runs in the mid-90s on the super speedways. I think it was the 94 500 we were watching him do really well. I think it was that one. Then he ended up getting turned by Jeff Gordon, I think it was, in the middle of the race. Qualified towards the front, ran top 5 the whole race, then he got turned by Gordon at one point, middle of the race. Hit hard. I mean, he's got a strong car, he just doesn't have any help. He's going to try to side draft Dale here. Oh yeah, big side draft. Nobody's going with him. Dale Jarrett's too far back. He's like 6 car lengths back still. Jimmy's been side drafting very effectively, though. When he's gotten side by side with somebody, he's actually able to slow the cars down around him. I haven't really seen anybody else do that in this race. Dale Jarrett's trying to close. I will say, even with just a few cars on the bottom, they're able to hang on pretty well with this package. Aaron Davidson, thanks for tuning in. What month is this race, 94? I think it was in April. The spring race. I think at the time, though, the July had the second date for Dega. I don't know whose idea that was, to have it middle of the summer like that. It was always sweltering. Ernie Irvin back to the lead. Oh, boy. Near contact for second. Bodine and Earnhardt. And now they're 2 by 2. They got more cars on the bottom. Oh, Jimmy! I thought he was going to crowd that guy. I couldn't tell who it was. I thought he was going to crowd the guy who was outside in the wall. Is that Loy Allen? Can't tell if that's the 19 or not. I think Adidas is just on the back bumper. I don't think it's like on the hood of the car. I think. He did have Adidas on the hood at one point. I don't think he does for this race, though. Jimmy was scared. I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. Nagano's kind of tall and lanky. Got that tall length to him. This guy's been getting after it in this race, though, I will say. Marlin's obviously going to be one to look out for speed. First time he's really been in the top 10 so far. Oh, Terry Labonte got put 3 wide middle. His own teammate split him. Brandon Gabriel, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, again, every Thursday on the channel we watch these classic NASCAR races. Next week we'll watch a classic Dover race. And it's all based off of your guys' voting. I can only put 5 races in the poll, so I get comments every week about like, oh, you should have put like a such and such race in there. And we'll have obviously other opportunities, you know, down the line. This is definitely going to be a stream that I've liked, and I know a lot of you guys like, that we'll be keeping for the long haul. And we'll have other races to obviously watch. Obviously, we'll have another Talladega race later this year too. We'll probably end up watching a fall or summer race, I guess, if it ends up being a 90s race again. Last time they went to a commercial, they were kind of spread apart afterwards. I don't think that's going to be the case here. Because no, it's definitely not the case. As soon as they come back 3 wide. that might get the top 5 to pull away, though. Top 4. Yeah, that might have the top 4 break away. The Wally in the 43. Michael Waltrip's up to 6. Where did he come from? He did not look fast during that first tire stint of the race. Then they all pitted. They must have made some major adjustments to that 30 car. Wally Dallenbach, top 5. I believe his only career win came at Talladega. Oh, Jimmy. Jimmy stacked him up. Mark Martin saw it. He went up the middle. Somebody just side drafted him heavily off turn 4. Was that Irvin on the bottom of him? Couldn't tell. I don't think so. I think Irvin's in the top 4. Kyle Petty, 42.
There has to be somebody breaking that area in front of you. Otherwise, you just can't run it.
Don't think Wally won any cup. I'm pretty sure he has a Talladega win. I might be thinking of somebody else, but I'm pretty sure Wally has won a Talladega. Matt Hunter, thanks for tuning in. Recommended the 88 race. Prominent racing legend throwing a tantrum on pit road. On-time TV analyst. Scoring his only win. Was that the Wally Dallenbach win we were talking about? What year did Wally win at Talladega? I'm pretty sure he won a cup race here. Going on to Racing Reference as we speak. Oh, he didn't win a cup race at Talladega, never mind. Wally Dallenbach. Yeah, he never won a cup race. Never mind. I don't know what I was thinking. No Xfinity wins. No truck wins. Has 6 top 5s and 23 top 10s in the Cup Series. Highest points finish 18th, which was in 1999. In all fairness, though, he only ran 5 full-time seasons in the Cup Series. 1992, 93, and then he didn't run full-time again until 96, and then ran full-time in 99, 2000. So he kind of had a weird career when it came to running races. Yeah, Phil Parsons won in 88. 94 year Marlin won the 500 on fuel mileage. It wasn't really much of fuel mileage from what we watched earlier this season. I mean, he strategized his way to get to the front, but everybody was pretty good on fuel to the end of the race. I don't remember anybody running out the closing laps of that one. I could be wrong on that. We just watched it. It was like one of the last 500 Daytona 500s we watched during the off season, leading up to Speed Weeks.
this DK Ulrich team had come
40 cars on the lead lap.
Greg Sachs was telling me this morning that they thought they
No, Jeff Bodine's out, and I think Kirk Shelmerdine might be out as well. I know he was last at the beginning. He might have started parked.
finishing 7th. Since then, they've let that car sitting in the corner of the shop. They haven't.
They had a green flag run of about 30 laps to start the race, and they had a caution with Jeff Bodine blowing a right front, hitting the wall. Jimmy going 3 wide again. No surprise. Jimmy Spencer's making all the moves. They don't call him Mr. Excitement for nothing. He is making moves, whether he can clear or not. He's starting them. I'm noticing he's getting more help the more he does it, just because he is trying to make moves so much. I think a lot of guys in the field are noticing, hey, he's got a pretty fast car. I might want to go with him. Look at how quickly he pulled away from everybody else, getting a draft off of those cars in front of him, too. He's got a good 3-car length gap or so in between himself and the car behind him. It's closing a little bit. A lot of it. And he caught Gordon. Gordon might have... No, he didn't hold back. Now that's an aggressive side draft right there. Not a lot of room. Dave Hughes Farm, thanks for tuning in. Was 94 or was a 95 you won on fuel mileage? Marlin for the 500. Might have been the 95 race because we haven't watched that one on the channel yet, so I specifically haven't watched that race. 94, I don't remember him really winning on fuel mileage for whatever reason. Like I said, unless it was just like a pit strategy that he stayed out longer than everybody else and made it. Because I don't remember guys running out of fuel at the end. Kyle Lance also welcome to the stream. NASCAR is still good. I mean, it may be a little inconsistent at times, but hopefully we got a good show coming up this weekend. Martinsville was kind of... I mean, there were some people that liked the race this last weekend at Martinsville. I didn't really care for it much personally. Honestly, I thought it was probably the worst race of the year, to be honest. And I love Martinsville, but the package on the short tracks, it's brutal. Richmond was good, but I think there was a lot of tire fall off at Richmond. Well, there was a lot of tire fall off at Richmond. It's just an older surface, so that allowed for the package to kind of be a little bit better than Martinsville versus Martinsville. There was no tire fall off. There was like 0.8 of a second of fall off after like an 80 to 100 lap run. At the start of stage 3, they had over 100 laps before the first caution to the final stage with less than 100 to go. I think there was like 80, 90 to go when that caution came out in the middle of green flag pit stops. And there was 8 seconds of fall off in like 100 laps at Martinsville. Or sorry, not 8 seconds, 0.8 of a second. At Richmond, after like 40 laps, there was like 2.5 seconds of fall off. In half the time.
You see John Andretti, the last car in that pack, the red car. You know, I'm talking about just a moment ago, pass he made. Yep.
It's a combination of, you know, the next gen car / Goodyear / lower horsepower. It's like not just one thing. It's a combination of all of them that creates that dirty air bubble that we're having a problem with. Honestly, like I said, it reminds me a lot of 2019 and that short track package back in 2019. Where it was high horsepower and high downforce. And they had the taller rear spoilers. It was weird because it was basically the 550 package but with 750 horsepower. It was basically what it was. And then they took away the downforce and short tracks were good again. So I mean, any way you could give them less grip. Whether it's tire fall off, horsepower, or both. I prefer both because you're more likely to have a fix, I feel like. But even one of those things will enhance it. You would have to match it just a little bit. Chris Davis, welcome to the stream. Talladega's up there for one of my favorites. That Bristol's the only racetracks that I've been to on a year-to-year-to-year basis outside of Michigan, which is my home track. This will be the 4th year in a row I'll go to a Dega race. By the way, that was a close pass I just saw right there from Sterling Marlin. He was all over the door of the 3. These guys have been racing from the drop of the green flag. Like, there is no let-up at all. Competitive race. Sterling's getting too far out. First time we've really seen Jeff Gordon in the top 3. Terry Labonte's up there with him too. Same thing for him. He hasn't really been in the top 5 till now. Have to imagine wherever the 24 goes, 5 is going to go with him. Is Darrell Waltrip up there? Is he behind Earnhardt? Or is that Todd Bodine still? Might be Todd. I mean, shifting might have something to do with it. There were drivers that would shift at Martinsville at the Gen 6 car, too. That's how A.J. Allmendinger was so good there. There were drivers that would shift depending on kind of gear ratios they were running from 3rd to 4th. So I don't know if the shifting has a lot to do with it. It allows you to charge the corner a lot harder because when you're downshifting, give you more grip in the center of the corner. And you're a little quicker on the drive off when sending it in deep. If you send it in deep into the corner, you're going to give up a lot of speed on drive off if you're not downshifting. Don't like tire fall off. I mean, the only reason I do is because it's kind of a perfect mend of strategy and drivability in the race car. Because the drivers are really working it on the longer run to keep control of their cars. But it also throws a strategy in there of when to pit and when not to pit. Versus just taking the fuel run all the way to the end or splitting the stage in half. It creates more strategy on top of drivers really having to work to keep their car in control. It's a perfect blend of both, in my opinion. That's why I do like tracks, you know, like a Darlington or Richmond, Old Atlanta, Auto Club. Even Vegas is slowly turning into that. Pretty sure Dale Earnhardt's led the most laps so far. Ernie led a lot at the start of the race, but Dale's kind of taken over once he got around him. I mean, this is Dale, or not Dale, well, his playground too, but the Earnhardt playground. They might as well call it Earnhardt Super Speedway. What? Both of them combined have 16 wins? Crazy.
Right behind Earnhardt, you're lined up for about 12 cars. Ernie and Marlon are just going to make it 3 abreast.
Ernie taking a 3. Cleared them both. Little help because 75 and the 3 pulled down to the bottom in the middle of the corner.
We've seen what that will do.
Wow, man, Ernie's got a fast car. Three cars breaking away.
Ernie and Crocodile.
I've noticed you have to have at least 4 to really start to break away from the field. 4 with a really fast car leading the pack. 3 just doesn't seem to be enough.
Yes, Benny, in fact, it is getting a little bit loose now. That's why he talked back a minute ago, trying to keep from having so many cars right on his rear bumper. And he's
Comers and goers on non-strategy, you know, side of things.
in fact, he almost lost the car a minute ago. Ernie's
Like Martinsville had, you could say Martinsville had comers and goers, but in my, I don't really think lead changes based off of pit strategy dictates comers and goers. Like that doesn't feel like it to me. Like comers and goers is like guys are good on the short run, guys are good on the middle runs, and guys are good on the long runs, and you see a combination of that throughout the course of the race. We see like 2 or 3 guys that are moving their way like up through the field in the middle portion of the run, but they can't sustain that over like an 80-lap run or something like that, and then they fall off. Drivers that can sustain for the 80 laps, and drivers that just take off for like the first 30. And you see a mix of all of them. Or just a lot of lead changes in general, but green flag lead changes I feel like leads towards it. Like there weren't really a lot of comers and goers this week. Because once you got to the lead, it was hard to pass. Denny Hamlin was really the only one that I saw this weekend that could actually pass the race leaders. Had that pit road error and, well, pit strategy error, really. Ty Bodine leading. I got a Starbucks on the way home that would keep me kind of like awake and alert during this stream. My right eye keeps twitching. So if you keep seeing me like touch my eye frequently, that's why. It's kind of bothering me a little bit. A little jittery. I don't drink coffee much. It does that to me sometimes. I found out the hard way not to do that. Don't drink coffee before I golf. Because I tend to get like a little jittery every now and then. It just messes my... I can't focus. Like I'll be on a putt. I'll feel like my hands are shaking a little bit. Like, gosh darn it. Yeah, Talladega has... that's the 2010 race. Had the most lead changes. It was like 80-something, wasn't it? Like 86? Something ridiculous like that. Ernie got split 3 wide middle. And nobody's going with him. Ernie be going backwards. Oh, Sterling making a move on Jeff. And everybody going with him. Michael Waltrip behind him. Michael's been flirting up there in the top 5 off and on for about the last 30 laps or so. I feel like he's due to lead a lap. 88. 88 in 2010. Remembers 2010, remembers in the 80s. That was one of the races that you could have voted for this week. We had that one. We had, obviously, this one. In 2009. 2000... what was it, 16 I think I had on there. And then there was another one. What was the other race I had on there? 20. It was 2012. Tommy H. Jurgen Jr., welcome to the stream. Jeff Curry, also welcome.
There are 40 cars on the lead lap and 29 in the lead draft as we approach lap number 61.
Still just the one caution so far for Jeff Bodine blowing a tire. 2013. Yeah, thank you for that.
There's an aerial view of all the cars in the lead.
They were all spring races.
They fill almost the entire backstretch.
Yeah, that infield will definitely be way more packed nowadays. I'm surprised they didn't allow more people in the infield this time. Like, even in the center, it looks like there's a lot of big empty spaces. Is it, like, not affordable at this time period? I don't know, like, how much NASCAR tickets were back in the 90s compared to, like, average, you know, salary or wage among Americans at the time versus, like, what it is now. Because now, I feel like, and I would know this just because I've been to a lot of different tracks already, and I go to a lot of races. NASCAR tickets compared to like any other sports tickets are the most affordable in my eyes. Most affordable for the best grandstand seats, and most affordable just like on average. Unless you go to like a baseball game during the week for a team that stinks like my Detroit Tigers, and you can get like tickets behind home plate within the first 20 rows for like $20 on SeatGeek or something like that, which is very, very affordable for great seats. But if they're good, then they're like $60 to $80. The cheapest ticket you could literally get for Talladega this weekend was like $50. You can go to a Talladega NASCAR Cup race, which is like one of the biggest races of the year, really. With the biggest track. Very affordable. My tickets were a little over $100 for this weekend. I have seats like right on the start-finish line. Pretty high up. See the whole track from there. Started getting more expensive about 1990. Yeah, right as it was really starting to boom and take off, I'd imagine. Yeah, I'd imagine like ticket prices were probably more expensive at the time, like through the mid-90s into the mid-2000s, because the demand was there too, so people were buying. Versus now, like there's not as much of a demand, so the tickets are therefore cheaper, and you can. I mean, I think it's helping though, because the attendance since COVID has been really good for the most part. There's been a couple tracks that are still, rough. I'm looking at you, Texas Motor Speedway. But even Las Vegas, I feel like for not the spring race they usually do good for attendance, but the fall race during football season, since the Raiders have gone to Vegas, I've noticed they don't need a second date. I don't think that kind of a track needs a second date to begin with anyway. Very few tracks I'm okay with having a second date. I'm all for one race per track, but there are, like 2 Talladega races is good, 2 Bristol races is good, but I'm very biased towards like something like that. I'll be honest, 2 Martinsville races. I'm very biased, but for the tracks that I would have a second date. But I mean, even Michigan, like as much as it stinks to only have 1 date there now for my home track where there was 2. I mean, I agree with it. There shouldn't be 2 Michigan races. Like, Michigan is not a track that's worth going to twice. Mark had a shot at that Morgan McClure ride in 93. I did not know about that. I didn't know much of, like, silly season rumors back in the 90s. Some 3. Oh my gosh. Whose idea was it to bring both cars down when they were like one pit box apart from each other at the same time? Not great communication between the crew chiefs there. They definitely got more fuel in the 22. He was in his box before the 43, and the 43 still left before him. Surprised only 2 cars pitted, too. They're going to fall so far off the pace. Yeah, I'm down for 2 Darlington also. Such a good track, though. Oh, Terry's going for the lead on his teammate, but nobody going with him. They're all staying with Jeff. 4 cars going with him, but he was a little too far back. Ted Musgrave's in. I like that paint scheme, by the way. Not quite as good as the Greg Biffle National Guard scheme back in the mid-2000s, but it's a pretty good scheme. I mean, it's very similar from like back half of the car, at least. The red, white, and blue. 80s tickets for Martinsville Wilkesboro were about $22. It seems like, I mean, I don't know what like the income was like back then. That seems like a good deal to me. I mean, that probably equate to like what? Probably like $40-something now. Yeah, I feel like short track tickets were probably a little cheaper, but they also had like local short track races throughout the summer too. So that kind of like, that the track was getting more business throughout the year other than just for NASCAR. Obviously the bigger dates were NASCAR, especially like TV money and all that too, but they were still running throughout the course of the year on non-NASCAR dates versus all the intermediate tracks and bigger, obviously their only dates are NASCAR dates, so I could see why those tickets would be more expensive. I mean, it makes sense. I'll tell you what, Dale was hauling it out of the pits. Are you sure he wasn't speeding? Like, Jeff Gordon was a lot slower coming out of his pit box. Not out of the box, I mean at the that last line, that white line, the pit exit line. Dale looked like he was speeding. That's just me. It looked like he was speeding. Stalled out just a bit. We'll push start.
As will Jeff Burton, who's also been in for 2 tires. Both Burton and Sachs, of course, are running the windshields here. There's Jeff Burton as he comes out.
Have the leaders right there. How to imagine. Woo! Mikey led that lap. It wasn't by much, but he led it. Actually, I think that's a 16 underneath him anyway. Maybe not. Look out. Yep. Mikey definitely led that lap, whether it was a lead. Yeah, that was Musgrave. He already pitted. So Waltrip got 5 bonus points in this one. During green flag pit stops. I thought he'd actually get to the lead before green flag stops, as much as he was contending since the first restart. Pit road speed 65, not 55. He just looked so much faster than the other 3 cars that were around him coming out of the pits, though. Like, he literally passed 2 of them on the apron as they were getting up to speed. He looked like he gassed it up too early, is what it looked like. I haven't heard anything about a penalty yet. It's been a few laps, so they probably... In case no one recommended it, Spring Dover 95 edition. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what all races I'll have in there. Yeah, I'm not sure what all Dover races I'll have in there, honestly. See, with that, Dover's only got 1 date now, so how does that not look like he's coming in hot? Maybe he wasn't speeding. I don't know. It looked like he was going way faster than some of those other guys. I think they might have given him a 5-mile-an-hour buffer at this time period too. I think. Like, don't go more than 5 above it.
Side tire change brings his score back to bear in turn 1.
But meanwhile, Dale Earnhardt is
Earnhardt leading the group.
pass Ernie Irvin before he could get his car back up to speed. As a matter of fact, he might
2004. Wasn't that the one with Jimmy Johnson? No, what year was that? I think it was 06, the Johnson-Kyle Busch finish. That was one of them I wanted to put in. That was a pretty good race. I think it was 06. I think it was the spring race in 06. Yes, at least 7 years old.
And you can see that they have the momentum. Jeff Brigg, I don't know if we reported that Todd Bodine and Jeff Burton both had a stop and go penalty for speeding on pit road. Tough break for those two competitors.
Who? I missed it. I gotta rewind it. I missed who had the speeding penalties. Fall of 05. I still didn't hear it. I think I was looking at the chat too long. One more time. Say that a third time, Benny. I don't think I rewinded it far enough. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Jeff Burton and Todd Bodine. I missed it. Missed it a couple times. I'm sorry for that. That is tough for Todd Bodine, though. He was having a great race. He was leading at one point. Not that long before pit stops, too. Dale's going to make a run here. He's got a big run. Oh, and he got blocked. Big block. Wow, Jeremy Mayfield's up there? Where did he come from? He was back in like 42nd at the beginning of the race. 41st. There were 42 cars. I think he was second to last at one point. Way before the first caution.
We see it there and say, man, how does he see? But his eyes are to some degree. It happens so gradual that the drivers do adjust, as Ned said.
Side-by-side racing here between Ken Schrader and Morgan Shepherd.
Matt Wilson, thanks for tuning in, by the way, also. I think I shouted you out. I read your comment earlier, though, about the two Darlington races. The Ernie Irvin, Dale Earnhardt show. That's pretty much what it's been. They've definitely been two of the fastest cars in the race.
I bought my car new in 1970.
Jimmy Spencer looks quick, too. Those are probably the three fastest cars. Spencer lost some track position during those green flag stops, so.
When I reached 300,000, I thought, I'm
I've got there a pretty good car.
No other leading motor oil offers more complete protection to help your car.
Are we getting commercials? We weren't getting commercials
At
earlier.
600,000, I thought maybe it could be the Haviland.
Haviland Formula 3. Why not just...
Mess with me.
This is the showroom where we sell the most Ford trucks. It's called the real world, and the only salesman is the truck itself. In fact, our trucks have sold so many people on Ford, we have more repeat buyers.
That was before
For 17 straight years, the best-selling trucks are built.
It got in the ads from 1994.
Roy Allen back in 33rd position after the
Talladega 32nd.
And now the cars have fallen a lap down.
Jeff Burton's a lap down after a speeding penalty. Oh, Mayfield's a lap down. I was going to say, I thought he was at the back.
Trying to get his car fixed after an encounter with a third.
107 to go. Still Earnhardt and
Leads
Urban.
Earnhardt here with Greg Sachs,
Almost halfway.
Morgan Shepherd, and Mark Martin. All hooked up together. Now let's go back to the second pack of cars.
With Rick Mast, he down just a moment ago, and there's that second group.
Oh, wow. Yeah, during the commercial break, second group really closed in on the lead. Oh, no, never mind.
Inside in 51, along with
They just got bigger in numbers. Not up there with the leaders, though.
Good run for Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy Spencer fell way back.
those paint schemes will knock your eyeballs out. By the way, it has become very sunny here now. The skies have cleared up.
I was going to say, it was an overcast race there for a while at the beginning.
Yeah, and it is.
You take the John
Make it a bit slick.
As weather's looking high.
There you go. Gary Cope out the middle of our screen with pink color. Here we go for his entry.
By the way, this is Cale's 200th race as a car owner.
Wow.
On the outside is Jimmy Handy. You didn't recognize him. You was painted that way in Martinsville last week. Steve Grissom, the green and white number 29.
Steve had himself a good qualifying run. Started 11th here today.
In the government appointed Steve Grissom in Alabama.
Gadsden, Alabama. Not too far from here. Started 11th. It's been his highest position. He's currently running in 20th. Back out front is still Urban leading.
Here comes Jeff Gordon.
Position.
Jeff Gordon, Morgan Shepherd, and down on the outside of Greg Sachs. Sachs was third the last couple. Now he's fifth, going for sixth.
Greg Sachs having a pretty good run. Slipping back now, but just to be up there with those guys.
Shepherd's car.
How far left he had that steering wheel cranked? I've always liked the Sitco paint schemes, whether it was on the Wood Brothers cars or even Jeff Burton on the 99 for Roush.
Benny, it's where you would normally think your license plate would go, right in the middle of the
rear bump.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of traffic here. And Marcus is in the middle of
Even Boston was beat New Jersey there back in '94.
the
Jersey, didn't they win the title that year? The Devils?
cars, along with Dolly back in speed.
Was it '94?
George doing okay though. He's being shown
They won like 3 titles.
pretty wide.
Them and the Red Wings are splitting a lot in the '90s and early 2000s. Dover only marginally better than Texas. That's a bold take. Facility's a lot more beautiful though. Well, I haven't been to Texas, so I can't say that for sure, but from a facility standpoint, Dover's pretty nice looking. Although that was one of the more boring races I think I've seen in person that But that was also just after the heels of going to Talladega like 2 weeks before that, though. So that could have been some of the reason, but let's watch Hendrick Motorsports dominate and get a 1, 2, 3, 4 sweep. Larson basically dominated the whole race. If it wasn't for Bowman and that pit crew getting him off the pit road on that final stop, like the only laps he led the whole day. I remember Almirola hitting hard. I think he blew a tire in the middle of the corner or something. Got the wind knocked out of him because he was sitting outside of his car when he crashed. I remember that from that race. I think there were only like 2 or 3 cautions per incident the whole day too. That was one of them. 94 is the Rangers. Well, that second group's got single file. Yeah, this is true. Dang. Oh. That's dangerous to pull out like that because that's going to bunch the leaders back up again. They were rolling pretty good there. I think it is very close in the lap sled count, though, between the 28 and the 3. I think that's why you're seeing those guys when they're 1-2 kind of pull out of line after a little bit, try to pass each other. It's got to be the only reason. It's kind of like this year for Almirola. Just like 2021, won his duel and sucked after that. Got a win randomly at New Hampshire. Maybe he'll have a random win at New Hampshire again this year. Or like Gateway or something. That's a track SHR had a good day last year. I think Almirola had a top 10 last year at Gateway. I skipped it. I thought I was going to have to skip the commercials again. Race 9 back in 1994. 10th race of the year.
Down through the years in NASCAR Winston Cup racing is the activity on pit road.
Oh.
This is the Wood Brothers back in 1971. Delano Wood, Jack in the car.
It's crazy.
Kenny Martin put the fuel in the car.
Oh my gosh.
I hesitate to guess, but I'll bet it's Benny Carter.
There's Glenn Wood. Cleaning the windshield. Leonard Wood on the right front tire.
It's kind of cringy to watch them try to fuel the car up with like no fire suit. How flammable that is. Probably way more flammable at this time too, and they were using real fuel. No, thank you.
Keeping those revs up.
Oh,
How long did it take back then?
That's probably 20 seconds.
And where was that? Do you know?
That was in Daytona.
In Daytona?
1971.
Where's
Donnie.
that?
Donnie was the driver.
Brendo, thanks for tuning in.
He was in Ontario or someplace for an IndyCar race.
Yep. And here's more for Jerry Punch.
Now, Benny Parsons, I asked Leonard Wood about that stop. I said, you know, as quiet and as mellow and as laid back as Benny Parsons is, you know, on the racetrack, he was so composed in the car. But when you put him on pit road and raise a jack and then drop that jack, the man became a raving maniac. He said, I almost took the legs off of that pit stop. If you watch that, Doc, he was a wild man in the pit.
I used to think that. I mean, I used to pride myself on going when they said go. Well, that's what you're supposed to do. We see Mark Martin.
I noticed it was just a 2-car breakaway up there. Irvin and Earnhardt pulling away from everybody else.
Six-place star.
We just passed the
That's not gonna hold up.
of this race. We now enter phase number 2. And it's been a very safe race to this point with the average speed up to 180.352.
Wow.
The last lap by leader Ernie Irvin turned at 191.7.
That's pretty wild that the race pace is that fast, even with the one caution they had earlier. Still 180 miles an hour.
Both of the stars caught speeding on pit road. Both a lap down.
Once again, the lead pretty much single file.
They are now, Bob, in a little while. And the second group of cars were catching them at the rate of about 3/4 of a second a lap. Now they have stabilized. In fact, this ground might be falling away just a little bit, but they're singled out.
10 cars in the lead round, and 3 running by themselves. And then the second group has about 8 cars in it.
And some very
Oh, they have I was gonna say they got some fast cars leading that group, so they may have a chance to at least gain some ground. I don't think they're gonna get to them before the next set of pit stops, but I mean, honestly, those front 3 cars look pretty quick during the last fuel run.
I was watching the leader.
18 car at this time was really good on the super speedways too. I mean, Dale Jarrett in general was good on the super speedways. It didn't matter what car he was in, 18 or 88. Robert Yates or JGR. $90 to go, just past halfway.
Jerry Punch has a report from pit road on the 28 and 75. John, Jerry, I should say.
Thank you, Bob. Let's make a deal. It doesn't involve a pit stop. Here's what's happening. Ernie Irvin has a loose race car with someone is stuck just beneath the rear of his car. So the deal is this. He knows that the 75 car is trying to get his lap back. Their crew chief, Larry McReynolds, has told Todd Bodine's crew, if you'll keep Todd right on rear bumper, not get him up underneath us where he gets us loose, so Earnhardt can't catch us. If the caution comes out, we're going to let you by and let you make up your lap and get back on the lead lap.
There you go, that's teamwork.
Stay off our rear bumper, stay in line so we're good and quick, and when the caution comes out, you're back on the lead lap.
You don't think of this sport as a team sport, but by golly, it is sometimes, isn't it?
That is very, very smart. Irvin, Larry McReynolds, those guys can do that. Todd Bodine is not going to lose too much percent.
He has to keep Dale behind him. Todd's got a fast car though, so it's possible. Dale's holding back though. Decent gap between himself and the 75. Ernie might have been getting a draft off those few lap cars up ahead too. Kind of pulled those 2 away just a bit.
Right behind Mark Martin. There we see them. The 8-car Rudd and that's the 19 car. Rudd, the only car in the lead lap, but he has lost the draft of the front cars.
And Morgan Shepherd has lost the draft of all of them. He's even back behind these guys.
So he is, isn't he?
Ernie Irvin approaching now. With him a lap down. There goes Chuck Bound. Next will be Mike Wallace and Darrell Waltrip.
Caught those other two lap cars in a bad spot. This might be a chance for Earnhardt to try to capitalize. He can get some help from behind.
There you can see that second pack of cars is losing to the lead track.
Here they were up there about 11 seconds. They cut it down to that 9.5 that we see, back a little bit less than that one time. And then you can see that they're pulling away once this group up here started running.
See how Todd Bodine is staying right behind Ernie Irvin.
He thinks he's got a buddy.
Imagine a caution comes out and then Ernie doesn't let Todd go.
Ernie Irvin has done 62 of the circuit so far.
There we go.
Cars are on the lead lap. Average speed
Supposed to do that before the race, not during the race.
5.5.
You crazy?
We'll be right back.
Hopefully that was from earlier.
Step into
Whoa.
this season
Whoa.
with style.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Top name brand swimsuit.
Bunch of pervs. Look at this. Most replayed. Part of the... Most replayed was this ad.
Hundreds to choose from. Prices that are
Sex sells.
Bob Lee's giving me directions, but I am the amazing skating goalie. And I score the winning goal. Wow. Which gets me a dance with Ty Babylonia.
What?
Yeah, that's my Sports Center highlight.
Oh, I remember this wreck.
Major crash here at Talladega, right in front of us. And
Mark. I remember seeing a replay of this before.
Mark Martin.
Todd Bodine was in the caution. He couldn't get around it.
See him get out of that.
This happened during the commercial.
Without brakes and went a long way. Hit two guardrails in the process and finally came to rest against another guardrail and a catch fence. Others involved include Todd Bodine, Jeff Burton there in the 80 and number 8 car. Boy, let's take a look at what happened.
Well, the big one happened during the commercial, it looked like.
He's going to be involved now. Jeff
3 wide.
now they're going to get 3
Oh,
wide.
just not a lot of room.
Doesn't know that. He gets touched by the 77.
Oh, Gordon got in it.
He goes down, hits the 24 car, sacks the 8 car, spins.
Ooh, hard hit on the outside.
No place to go.
Watch Mark. Is that Mark right here?
There's no brakes. It's the inside retaining wall, and then it goes out of the picture, but he goes through another.
I was going to say, I think he went through the first wall, if I remember right, and then into the
In the
fence.
middle of your screen, hits the diehard 500 sign.
Look at
shoots
this.
through a guardrail,
Boom!
goes right on through it, mows it down.
Could you imagine just sitting it like right over here being like, oh my god.
Fence, and then the guardrail.
Man, that's a nasty hit.
He had to be going 100 miles an hour when he hit the end of that guardrail.
Nasty crash for Mark Martin.
Second guardrail where he finally came to a stop.
That was a wild ride, and thank God he got out of there.
There are only 2 cars here in front of us that appear to be
He got out pretty quick,
besides
too.
Mark Martin. That's Bodine and Burton. And there was Mark Martin getting out of the car.
Got the wind knocked out of him a little bit.
He appears to be injured, possibly a little bit, but certainly good to see him get out of the car. Let's take a look at it again.
That was
Yeah, 75 just didn't really give the cars enough room underneath him, really.
And then now there's no place for these other guys to go. Rudson,
I'd probably put the fault of that on Todd Bodine.
Maybe he'd have a whole lot of damage.
Man, he was hauling going through there. At live time,
200 miles an hour going through.
I'm telling
he was on that pavement, too. That access road to get into the infield. He
you
basically
remember
followed that all the way
Todd Bodine
through.
and Jeff Gordon were involved
A lot of
in
damage on Gordon.
Together at Daytona, and they have met again. The roof flaps on Jeff Gordon's car deployed.
Dropping back down. And here all these cars are coming down.
A lot of fast cars taken out in that. It was in the lead group. Yeah, Todd just didn't give a whole lot of room to that car in the middle. Was that Greg Sachs that was in between him and Gordon?
Meanwhile, pit stops are being accomplished. Here's Ernie Irvin pulling in.
That's big for Marlon Spencer and Waltrip. Michael Waltrip. Gets them back in it. Oh, geez, that guy threw that tire over his shoulder and bounced back and hit him in the back.
Meanwhile, the car 28 also has gotten left side tires. They are
Oh.
down. Let's check back in with John Vernon. A problem with the jack on Greg Sack's car. They finally get the car off the ground and get the tires changed.
This Sachs didn't really have too much damage for that, surprisingly. 21's been slow out of the box the whole race, I've noticed. Stalled out the one time earlier. Yeah, it did kind of look like Kyle Busch's wreck in the Xfinity race. Oh, we got a tire. Who was that? Couldn't tell who was in the box. Red car of some sort. Oof. Yeah, that's going to be tough. That is going to be tough to be going fast after that. That's a lot of damage on a fast track like this. Wow.
The battered car of Mark Martin is pulled back to the garage area, and there is very little left in the front end of that machine.
The cheese grater just sheared the front of it off.
Todd Bodine,
Look at that.
and also Loy Allen, Jeff Gordon, and Jeff Burton.
Are those fans that are over there?
Car, Mark Martin's came to rest.
And you see they're
Sheriff, a couple sheriffs and
chain
safety
link
officials.
fence. Is that a brand name or is that the type of fence? I'm not sure.
Yeah, they're not going to fix that the rest of the race. They're going to be like, well, there won't be another car that's going to come down here. We'll be all right.
In real time, so you can
That rarely happens anyway. So
Mark Martin was going when he went through one guardrail and came to rest against another.
I think the last older race we watched at Riverside a couple weeks ago, the week of the Coda race. Wow, look at how fast he is going. Boom, stop. That is a hard. That is so violent.
He didn't fly over that guardrail and
Yeah, thank goodness. He almost did too.
Well, there's a ditch and then of course the other guardrail there. Now this ought to be a real shot.
If he just would have, oh, he did hit that wall a little bit. That straightened him out a tad. Wow.
How did that camera live through all that?
Darrell Walter drove through it.
Darrell missed it. This is going to be an interesting view. Look out. Look out. Oh, man, he almost got hooked.
That Darrell Walker's got to be the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Here it is from above.
Oh, Jeff Gordon, nowhere to go. Darrell,
There's Mark getting hit.
twice.
Yeah.
Hard hit into the outside. I think that was for the 8 car.
Man, he couldn't have missed Darrell too much. We see Rudd spinning down through there.
I think he spun, but I don't think he had a lot of damage.
Black car, is that 12? Yes.
As long as he kept it off the wall on the inside. I don't know if he did or not. Oh,
Across that road and
no, he did hit it. Never mind. He was sliding forever before he hit it.
I don't see that.
Oh. Boom, boom. Jesus.
I remind everybody again that we were nominated for 3 Emmy Awards a couple of weeks ago, and we won all 3 of them, and they were for technical innovation, including that type of shot that we got from the in-car camera. That is unbelievable. And hats off to everyone who works on the technical crew. And he is
Patrick Chadley, Billy Kramer, thanks for tuning in.
For those of you who visit your local racetrack, and you often hear the PA announcer say, please get back away from the fence. That's the reason why. And John Curtin is with Mark.
Mark has been checked out at the infield care center, and Mark, that was one wild ride you took. Thank goodness you're okay.
Yeah, I was sure worried about it. The first impact there, I lost the brakes, which wasn't going to do me much good, but it sure is a helpless feeling coming toward that guardrail with no brakes. I know it wouldn't have slowed me down any, but I'd have sure felt a lot more normal if I'd have been able to push on the brake pedal. It scared me a little bit there. I thought that could be a bad one, but thank goodness for those roof flaps. The car didn't get upside down when it turned sideways at full speed. Thank goodness for NASCAR and the rules. It's a good run for us. We were going to have a real decent finish. We were just sitting there you know, waiting around and stuff. And I'm proud of that Valvoline bunch. And what else can I say?
When you got out of the car, you looked like you might have rung your bell or something. Were you hurt momentarily there, or you okay? I guess.
I'm okay. It hurt bad. Then it shows on TV.
Be one of those goodies shouters.
John, there's some spots he can't talk about on television. Don't you understand?
Okay. I understand now, Mark, what they were talking about.
We won't discuss it, but he's okay. That's the most important thing. But a major crash has put several behind the wall. Everybody is okay. Earnhardt will be the leader when we go back to racing in just a moment.
Oh, Ted Musgrave's up to ninth?
Says it all right there. Excitement, speed, power, and nerves here at Talladega and the Winston Select 500. They continue to work on Jeff.
Missed the wreck.
Trying to get him back out there to complete as many laps as possible.
He's one of the first cars that pitted, and he was by himself, too.
He did,
Must have cycled okay then. Jeff had a big run going through here. Look at this. Look out.
John Curtin is with Todd Bodine.
Well, Bob, Todd just got out of the infield care center. You okay, Todd? You guys had a great run going in the speeding violation, and it looked like you were in a position where you could get that lead lap back and then some contact.
Todd Bodine.
Yeah,
when he had hair.
I messed up, got us a lap down by speeding on pit road. I thought I was in the legal limit, and I wasn't. But, you know, we would have been in that pack anyway because that was a lead draft. And, you know, it's a shame the factory stores, Adidas Ford was running great. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better race car. I made some mistakes in the beginning, got caught out of the draft, and got worked my way
Looks
back,
like Terry
got the lead.
Labonte behind him.
Just riding there and just trying to stay out of trouble. And
Heavier set
messed
Terry
up on pit
Labonte.
road, but, you know, we'll get him next week.
Doesn't this guy look like Terry Labonte? The heck?
Good to see everyone.
Thought Terry's racing still.
Scary accident.
It's pretty cool
Right at the
poster.
start-finish line here at Talladega. Before we go green, we'll take another break. Back at Talladega, and we're just a
Long
few,
cleanup.
Moments away from the restart of this event. Earlier today, the auto racing world lost, perhaps many people will tell you, its greatest competitor and best driver. Ayrton Senna, the three-time world champion, was killed today in a Formula One race in Imola. 41 total career wins, 65 pole positions, and the 88, 90, and 91 World Driving Championships. Our sympathies to the Ayrton Senna family. He will be missed greatly by all of us interested in auto racing. And we're just
That one
gonna
kinda hit.
jump into a car here and take a couple of silent
Kind of felt
ones.
chills when I was hearing that. Those aren't the nostalgic good ones either. Tough loss. And 93 through 94 was tough for the motorsports world. A lot of tough losses. It looked like Terry Labonte, but it wasn't him. Terry's still in the race. He didn't have that much credit this time either. If any at all. Again? Oh my! Oh, Terry hit hard. Oh my gosh! I was not expecting that quickly. That was the first lap after the restart from the last big one. It says way more cars in it than the last one did too. Terry hit hard. He caught some air when he got slammed in the right side.
There's no cautions and no accidents, and now 2
Rusty's in it.
in a few minutes.
That car's done.
Badly damaged country time car.
Nice paint scheme. Oh, a lot of damage there too. Window net's still up. Terry got turned.
Somebody touched Terry LeBlanc.
Couldn't tell who it was. Somebody turned Terry. Watch him. Oh, man. That was a hard hit. He was backing down the track really quickly. And somebody hit hard head on into the wall on the outside, too.
Got up into the wall, Chuck bound, got on the brakes.
Is that the Trickle car?
It could be Trickle or Andretti. I'm not sure. No,
Way to go, Dick. I just wanted to say that. I don't know if it was actually Trickle or not. They,
Wow. Rusty Wallace is out of his car. So is
Finally got the window net now.
assessing the damage. There's Rusty walking away. Terry Labonte is standing there.
Now look at the back of that Kellogg's cornflakes car.
He just hit Rusty for a ton.
Rusty seems very
It's,
upset.
Jeff Purvis, he's walking over the ambulance. He's okay. So again, it appears that all drivers are going to be okay. Jerry, what do you know about this?
Well, Bob, we're standing by with Jimmy Johnson, who is the team manager for all of Hendrick Motorsports. And Jimmy, fortunately, you've spoken with
Jimmy Johnson. There was another Jimmy Johnson?
Yeah, Terry's fine.
What happened down there?
Well, Terry asked on the radio.
It's not the race car driver or the football
From our
coach.
standpoint, it looked like the
There's
car
3 Jimmy
had
Johnsons.
his rear quarter panel and turning sideways, and then all heck broke loose.
Well, fortunately, Terry Labonte is okay, but the crew is taking off back to the garage area. Now, Jimmy will be headed back that way momentarily. They're going to try. I'm not sure from our vantage point if there's anything they can fix, but everyone's looking for those Winston Cup
What the
points.
heck is he doing?
Here it is again. Let's see. Yeah, there may
There
have
is Spencer is on the inside there. Yep, he touches Labonte just a little bit.
Jimmy?
Sideways down into
Jimmy
another
Spencer.
car,
here again.
and then right up into the wall on the outside, bounces back down in front of some other cars.
Ooh.
I can't believe how quickly Terry Labonte was backing down the track, too.
Get turned sideways, the roof flaps come up, spoiling the lifting effect that the cars have when they get on there, when they get sideways. From the proof positive blimp.
Yeah.
And
That
there is
rocked
the
right there
contact
by
between
Rusty.
Labonte and Wallace.
See Purvis going
Rusty was sideways already when he hit him, too.
It's Wally Dolly.
Oh, tough break for Wally. He had a really good race going. Oh my gosh.
into these guys head on.
That was a hard hit, too. I didn't even see that till just this replay.
Hits and back out.
That was like right around the same area as the last crash.
Right rear of the car.
This was just past the tri-oval. The other one was like right in the middle of it,
Car on a
where it started.
It's not the only way they can get it to move.
Weather Expert
Again, it
Gaming, thanks for
appears as if
tuning in.
all drivers are okay after a multi-car crash during the Winston Select Final.
Back-to-back big ones.
Matt Elkins of Dallas,
Like
Texas,
literally the first lap after the restart, they wrecked again.
This massive 2.6-mile facility.
They back to racing already?
And there is the lead draft.
Now, Bob, we're down to 16 cars on the lead lap as we see one of those, John Andretti, who was running up there in 12th place.
We back to racing.
Being pushed to the garage area. We understand that he has an engine problem, and Jeff Gordon just went left down on the racetrack with his battered car. So there are now 16 cars on the lead lap.
It's too bad for John Andretti. He was up as high as 12th.
John Andretti has been impressive this year. Last year when he first came to the sport,
Back to the Ernie Irvin, Dale Earnhardt show. They've been ahead of all the mess behind him.
another IndyCar driver trying to win a race. And I tell you what, those guys do have a feel for a race car, as he has proven.
It's still Ernie Irvin leading, Dale Earnhardt, Schrader, Michael.
Kenny Schrader having a quiet, solid day. Missed all the carnage up in third. He's a pretty good super speedway racer back in the 90s.
Great run from Michael Waltrip.
Yes, it is. You know, he was running very well in Daytona.
I think he won at Talladega, if I'm not mistaken.
Back there with Todd Bodine, as we see Spencer trying to get by Sterling Marlin.
And of course,
There's only 16 cars on the lead lap now. Jeff Gordon's got heavy damage in 18th. Those two wrecks took so many cars out of this race. Good heavens. 29th on back is out. And there's so many drivers a lap down with damage. It's only 18 cars on the lead lap. I will say they got that wreck cleaned up pretty quickly compared to the last one. There was a lot more damage to the infield wall, though, the last wreck, but still.
Yeah, he slides back up in front of Lake Speed, and John Kernan is with John Andretti.
Well, John, you had a great run going there. I see you did have some contact out there on that one accident. You did a masterful job getting around it.
It's one of those things where you just have to be a little bit lucky, and we were lucky there, but we were a little bit unlucky. We dropped the valve in the car, but I forgot to mention one of my sponsors one time I was on to mention Diesel. We'll be back. You know, we get some good runs in. We just can't get them in at the finish. So one of these days, maybe that'll happen for sure.
Are you enjoying stock car racing as much as Indy cars?
I just enjoy racing. It doesn't matter what it is. And
Oh, what happened to Ernie?
these guys and you know, hopefully someday I'll be able to race with
Oh no!
a little more often.
The dominant car of the day.
Okay, thank you, John. Good luck next week.
And what's wrong with the 28 car?
Oh
More
no.
than just being out of the draft.
Yes, looks like he's lost his son.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's more than just being out of the draft,
With the 28 car.
because he was
Here
leading.
in the race, Earnhardt right behind him.
Wow, he almost ran right. Wow.
And
Boy, Earnhardt
Great job by him getting out of the way and Earnhardt getting just to the inside. He almost got in the back of him. He slowed down at the worst time. Right in the middle of the corner. Everybody was on the bottom.
Larry, what happened? Why did he slow down?
See, he just got real loose, I think, up there in 3 and 4. He hadn't really said much about the car since that last stop, but he did say it got real loose in. I guess Jim Phillips said he almost hit the ball.
Well,
Oh, never mind. Guess he just got loose.
Back up to speed, so a near miss once again for Ernie Ehrman.
just lost a lot of positions on the race.
I mean, the good news is he's still in the lead draft, and he's got a fast enough car to get it back up there. He can lead that second group. It's the second car in that group right now. I can't tell who's in front of him.
became very, very loose. He said that he felt like it was where they put tar in the crack across the racetrack. And possibly, that's what Ernie did.
We watch Morgan Shepherd now as he runs in the 7th position.
That camera angle makes it look like there's quite a bit of space in between the window net and the opening of the car right here. This area. That's like fully covered now. Probably cools it down a little bit. Wow. I noticed earlier seeing Morgan Shepherd turn the car, the steering wheel I should say, all the way down.
Moving to the low side now of Steve Grissom. His effort to catch back up. Here's Kyle Petty now moving to the inside of the
Man, what are these guys doing? They gotta get single file. I think Ernie knows he's faster,
Was running in the left.
so he wants to lead this group.
Not leading up to ninth, I believe. And as soon as Black goes up, Greg Sachs coming on the outside line by these guys.
ahead of Steve.
Black Wallace behind Myers car.
He's right in the middle of this pack. He's a lap down. So showing the 17th.
Hamilton car directly in front of him. Pit Musgrave.
Big one at Talladega, yes or no? I'd probably lean towards yes.
Dale Earnhardt leading.
Or at least a decent size wreck.
Third is Michael Waltrip. Jimmy Spencer is 4th, and 5th is Sterling Marlin.
Even in the fall race last year, even though there wasn't the big one, there was still that wreck at the beginning of stage 2 that took out like 8 cars.
Pontiac in 9th position.
Well, there were like 8 involved. I don't think there was that many that were actually out of the race after the wreck. I think there was only like maybe 4 of them out.
Back with more live coverage of the
Even if we don't get like a big one, I can see a wreck like that happening.
ESPN Speed World and the Winston Select 500 in Talladega being led by Dale Earnhardt. And looks like we got some deal making going on.
That's Jimmy Johnson, the team manager for Hendrick.
Everybody should have to pit one more time yet.
Talking to Richard Childress, the owner of Dale Earnhardt's car. John Kerner, what are they talking about?
Well, what they're talking about is pitting together, but I don't know if Earnhardt's team is going to want to stretch it as far as Ken Schrader may stretch it. They may stretch it up to lap 162 and then try and go the rest of the distance on
Go, Kenny. Those 3 cars behind Kenny Schrader, though, are really quick. Those are probably going to be all the ones that Dale's going to have to beat, as well as Ernie Irvin, if Ernie could get back up there.
He's been running about 50 laps on a tank of fuel. That would put him in around lap 155. They could probably go to 158, but I would doubt they would even want to think about going to 162. He'd probably coast down pit road. Now, 150 to 155 in that range, 158 maybe. They would love to have Kenny Schrader pit with them to have a dancing partner.
Another driver that has been competitive all afternoon is running back there in what? 6th position, Lake Speed.
He's 6th spot.
Lake Speed in 6th.
Good run. Forward quality car.
He started 18th on lap 111. He was 11th, slipped back to 13th, and again he climbed to 9th, 8th, and now 6th at 140 laps.
You see Morgan on the corner trying to go by these guys on the outside. He pulls up on the outside of Speed.
Speed Winston stays with Speed, but it looks like now he's going to go out and go with Morgan.
Great shot looking back on Steve Brisbane from Morgan's car.
Greg Sachs directly behind those cars. There's Ernie Irvin.
And Irvin isn't moving up the way he thought he might. John, what they decide?
Well, they're talking it over right now. Jimmy Johnson and Kim Howes, as Childress has made his pitch. I asked him after he left if they had struck a deal. Jimmy said, well, we're thinking about it.
Yeah, honestly, I never realized there was a Jimmy Johnson that was a NASCAR owner back in the early 90s.
Jarrett has just gone a lap down. He's in 16th position.
Wow.
There is the
15 cars on the lead lap.
indication that Ernie Irvin is indeed catching the leader, Dale Earnhardt. The interval was 20 seconds on lap 138, and by lap 142 it had been sliced in half to a second and a half.
Greg Sachs has gotten on the outside of Irvin now, trying to, and there's a group of cars behind him. Now there are only 15 cars in the lead lap.
That's the battle for 7th there between Sachs and Irvin. That side by side.
They got back in line. I guess Ernie would be content to let Sachs pull him back towards the front. Irvin's got a bad situation right now because if these guys are going to stop putting 1 can of fuel in, if his car's handling that badly, here's Schrader off the pace.
Oh, no.
The car is slow in turn 4.
Oh, Kenny. Oh, my God, they killed Kenny.
Well, so much for the strategy that they were talking about.
Why didn't he pit right there? That looks like he's lost more than just a cylinder. He looks very slow.
Ken Schrader. Pit stop should be okay. We'll cover them for
So much for him and Dale working together.
to Talladega.
Man, he was in 2nd place. Well, no more buffer cars between Dale and the rest of the quick cars. Well, I will say all the fastest cars in this race today all missed the 2 wrecks that we
We're
had.
at Savco Racing with assistant engine builder Lanny Barnes. And Lanny, the increased horsepower
Top
to maintain
top 5
speed
cars, in my
is
opinion, are the
really
top
different.
4, and then Ernie Irvin, wherever he's at
We'll
now.
tear that apart. Now, on a race engine, you're talking about coating the bearing,
Kenny way more off the
piston,
pace than what
and the crank. Now, what do you have in front of us here?
Dave
Today we
was.
have a coated Clevite bearing versus not, and that's what they look for here at Savco Racing.
Michael Waltrip running 2nd.
Mikey.
Lake Speed has been trying to help Ernie Irvin go to the front.
Mikey up to 2nd.
Front for a couple of laps now. They were mentioning the keys.
3 wide. I'll tell you what, for only 15 cars on the lead lap, these guys are going at it. Look at this. They do not care that there's only 15 of them left. Oh my gosh. Oh, Jimmy. Hang on to it. Gosh, if they wreck again, there's going to be nobody left. Like a, what is this race from the 20? Oh, Jimmy. That worked out for Ernie Irvin, though. Morgan Shepherd back to 4th. He's had a good day. He's been in the top 10 the whole race.
And Steve Person is learning a lot about drafting this afternoon, isn't he?
He's doing a great job. And that's what he's doing. I think his car might even be a little bit better. He's right up there with the lead pack, but it might even be a little bit better than that. But he's very sensible.
Ernie picked off Morgan Shepherd.
As much as he can.
What a nice guy, too.
And here comes Ernie Irvin trying to take over the 3rd spot. And his fans are going nuts.
Jimmy Spencer's getting a big run. 2 very fast cars on the bottom. They're going to make up some ground. Here they come. Man, they're hauling. Just the 2 of them. It's just the 2 of us. There we go. Look at that crowd. A lot of Ernie Irvin fans. I think it's just mainly the 28 car and Davey Allison.
Here comes Ernie.
That crowd has to be going absolutely nuts.
Earnhardt by a nose. Jerry Punch.
Well, they're battling up front and they're also battling on pit road. Now, here's what they're trying to do. Richard Jones would like to be able to get Michael Waltrip.
36 to go still. These guys, I'll tell you what, there has been no let-up of action in this race. We got 15 cars left on the lead lap, and they're still racing. Hard.
Right now by Chuck Ryder and the Pontiac team up there.
Never has Michael Waltrip been so popular.
No, he's a very popular guy right now. They're trying to make a deal with the 52 car, with the 25 car. Schrader, he's gone away, so they'll try to find the next best.
And once again, onto the trial.
Oh!
Side by side battle.
Dale coming way down to side draft Ernie. Michael Waltrip losing the 3 a little bit. Now he's got to run. Michael's coming. Here he comes.
And we have 35 to go. And there's Larry McReynolds. He has a pit map, and he's looking.
Oh, Ernie got split. Jimmy didn't stay with him. I don't know why he did that. They were really fast together. I mean, Jimmy's fast too, but now the fast guy he was working with isn't with him anymore. I think Musgrave drove up to the inside of row 2. Marlin thought about going to the bottom. That'd probably be best because Marlin's got a quick car. Oh, slow car in the way. Jimmy trying to catch. I was like, why is he cutting so low? Oh, man, that almost worked for him. That was brilliant. It might. What a move, Jimmy Spencer. Used the lap cars, got a big run in the draft and moved up just in the nick of time. Cleared Dale Earnhardt. He's been up in contention the whole race. He hasn't led, though, until now.
Earnhardt is waving.
Jerry Punch is talking about 158 maximum. Is Earnhardt coming in? They're running in the 155th lap right now.
Oh, yep, here we go.
Every one of them's making a pit stop.
About that.
Good portion of them.
Yes. We've got 6 cars that are coming in for their what should be their final pit stop.
Oh.
Including Spencer and Marlin and Sachs. Musgrave, here's John Kernan.
Sterling Marlin, the only driver who has a chance at that $100,000 bonus who's on first can of gasoline going in right side tires. A 2-tire change. Now let's go down to Earnhardt. Fifth, Jerry Punch is Sterling.
They changed right sides only? Surprise. Greg Sachs going to win that race off pit road. Look how fast Earnhardt is, though, before he leaves the pits. So much quicker getting through the gears, or it looks like he takes off right before that final line. 2 cars is not enough, though. I think Waltrip is the car behind Earnhardt. He's going to have a big run on him eventually. He's kind of pulling the cars behind him, though.
Second group is
that Ned Jarrett was just talking about.
Six fit together. Theoretically, everybody comes out at about the same point, and we still have that 11-car draft. Here's Steve Grissom, who is he going to have a drafting partner? Yeah, Ken Schrader right behind him.
Well, that first group, as they coming down pit road, there was the top group. They're going by. So
Earnhardt gets by Sachs.
Schrader was already a long way back, so he must have made a good pit stop. The Steve's pit stop a little bit slow.
Getting down to the wire here. Well, we got about 30 to go.
Final pit stop for Ernie Irvin should be coming on lap
Probably got one more commercial break, I probably imagine.
21. Morgan Shepherd, 2 Fords will come down his pit and try to
I feel like it's been a while since their last one.
We saw this a moment ago. Fuel only for both those cars.
I wonder if it stays green to the end. Wow. Oh, those are the leaders. They haven't pit yet. Technically. 30 to go this time by.
Not handling as well as he'd like for it to. He'd love to stop and get 4 tires. Those other guys just spent 12 seconds in the pits. He cannot afford to spend 17 seconds. They were all gone.
Here comes the 55 car of Jimmy Hensley back out onto the racetrack.
Well, he's going to pick up quick response because all the cars in the crash with him, they're not able to get back on the racetrack. He will beat them.
Love it when the modifieds decide to enter a NASCAR Cup race.
36th position.
Who knew they raced modifieds at Talladega? That'd be nuts. It's like a super speedway whenever they go to New Hampshire.
See if it happens this lap.
Just the draft they get off a flat 1-mile track. Somebody's really slow. Hopefully that car makes it back onto pit road. Here come the rest of the leaders.
All 5 coming in.
I'm curious to see where they're going to cycle. I mean, they weren't losing time on old tires because a lot of those guys took 2 tires or no tires. I mean, Earnhardt, who's leading that group, took no tires.
Here's John Kernan in Lake Speed's pit.
Johnny Weaver and the crew have carried it as far as they can. Only 1 can of gasoline. Kyle Petty
Gas and go there.
This could work out here where they join in at just about the speed of the 5 coming down. What do you think, Ned?
Well, I think Morgan Shepherd and Kyle Petty are going to be okay, but I think Ernie Irvin is they're going to blow right by him and Lake Speed. You'll see Earnhardt coming up on him.
Lake Speed with a solid run.
It takes at least a lap or a little over here to get up full speed.
Yeah, they're going to definitely get by him. Way too much speed coming.
Are running together and should get back up to speed a little bit quicker than normal.
Dale Earnhardt leading Marlin and Spencer, Sachs and Waltrip. 28 laps remaining in the Winston.
Ernie blends back in. Lake Speed hanging on at the tail end of that draft.
So far, and it's anybody's race right now. We'll be right back.
Probably the last commercial break, I take it. Oh,
Race is out here at Talladega.
caution during the break.
Came in contact with the wall up between turns 3 and 4.
Who they say? Kirk
The
Shelmerdine?
right side of the car. He wasn't able to drive the car into his pit area, and they're working on the right.
That's
right
tough
now.
considering he was at the
Now,
back
he's gonna
most of
have
these
a jury
races.
punch.
Yeah.
Well, Dale Earnhardt is going
Hate it when cars at the back of the field cause late cautions like this.
But one who will make an entry possibly on the pit road will be Ernie Irvin. Now, Ernie just radioed in and said, Larry, is it my imagination or is one side of that spoiler?
I mean, a
hanging
mechanical
down?
failure.
So apparently they said they're going to come in and try to repair
Not really the driver's
rear
fault.
spoiler. The crew's not really sure what the problem may be, but Ernie says looking in the mirror, there's something wrong with the rear spoiler.
Single car incident at Talladega, I take it was probably a mechanical
On the
issue.
pit road again. Yeah, you can see it's
Little handling or something.
Your eyes are better than mine, Bob. You're much younger than I am.
Well, yeah, better looking too, I might add, but
A lot skinnier.
here's Jerry again.
Apparently, with all the pushing and adjusting on the rear spoiler with Ernie's loose race car all day, the spoiler now has gotten so weak where it's hanging down. So so they're going to come in and use a screw gun to put a screw in the spoiler. And now that everyone realizes that Ernie's going to come in, there's a possibility that Dale Earnhardt may also make an entry over pit road as now the Goodrich crew begins to scramble a little bit. And think
Oh boy, we got some cars pitting.
some tires on that car as they
Guys
will
taking tires
make an
here.
entry on the pit road. Here comes
They just pitted too. That's crazy. They just pitted for fuel and everybody's coming in to take tires.
and yes, indeed,
They were fine not taking tires until they got a restart. This is going to get nuts to the finish now at this late caution. Probably have it right around 20 to go, maybe less than that on the restart. Man, he's going to lose a lot of track position. Oof.
That's pretty impressive. He's been able to run around there. That thing, the spoiler is laying back on him down the straightaways.
During this caution, two drivers, Mike Wallace and Darrell Waltrip, got their laps back. The leader of the event is Sterling Marlin.
Sterling to the lead. Where's Earnhardt? Those guys stay out, maybe?
Come back on pit road for more work to the rear spoiler to make sure
Man, that's tough.
it's tight.
It's going to be tough to get by all the... I mean, there's not too many cars on the lead lap, so it's not impossible to get back up there, but...
NASCAR apparently is making a measure of the spoiler before the motor is going out.
It has to be a certain height. Gary Bunch.
Well, Benny, it has to be a minimum of 40 degrees, and when it came loose and began to bend backwards on the car, if he were to win the race and come down, the NASCAR rule is that you come off of turn 4 after taking the checkered flag, if your spoiler is less than 40 degrees, you will be credited with last place finish. So again, take a chance here today. Under caution, they check the spoiler temperature at least 40 degrees on the back of the car.
Here's the top 10. Sterling Marlin, your leader. Jimmy Spencer is second. And Steve Grissom. Dave Marcus running fourth. And Greg Sachs.
Jimmy Spencer up there.
Sixth position being held by...
Wow, Dale's not even in the top 10.
Waltrip, Kyle Petty.
There's only, what, like 17 cars on the lead lap? Two of them got their lap back during the caution.
Will come to you from Sonoma, California, Sears Point International Raceway, the Save Mart Supermarket 300. That's at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, Sunday, May 15th, 2 weeks from today.
Once again, be sure to like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you haven't already.
Lining up
Oh,
for the
jeez.
restart.
Late race restart coming up.
Winston
Closing laps on our final stream for the weekend.
completed.
No live commentary this weekend. I'll be at Talladega for all of this weekend's races, so there will be race highlight videos from the grandstands for Saturday and Sunday, the ARC Xfinity, and the NASCAR Cup Series race this weekend.
Mike Wallace and Steve Grissom join
Should be a fun one. Hopefully you guys enjoy it.
and Ward Burton. There is the
And our next live stream will be Tuesday. And our next live commentary streams will be the Xfinity and the Cup Series races at Dover. Trucks off both this week and next week. So just a Saturday, Sunday live commentary doubleheader the following week, then at Dover.
Convention Center. And they're going to have a celebrity chef day. Oh, I love it. Oh, boy. And they can be cooking. They can find me a dessert. Shirley, I'll have desserts.
Please understand he will not be serving or baking them.
He will be eating. No, I was serving. Hutch Pickett's going to be there.
That ought to be fun.
It ought to be fun. Benton Convention
Pace car pulling off this time.
Thursday.
By the way, how's your life?
Notice how he gets that wire.
Here we go.
All right.
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
Serious racing to do here.
Go, go, go.
Let's sober up and get the green flag restart this
Oh man, that was a staggered start on the outside. That was weird. Jimmy Spencer laying back. Marlin getting maybe a little too far out ahead. Jimmy's going to try to take that lead as soon as he can. He's not waiting. I guarantee it. No, he didn't attempt it yet. Dale Earnhardt restarting outside the top 10. Him and Ernie Irvan. Dale going up the middle. Oh my gosh. 3 wide up the gut.
Certainly the possibility of that happening here this afternoon. Spencer has not won. Neither has Winston. Right?
Well, the 28 car Ernie Irvan was mired in heavy traffic back there. They're 3-4 wide right in front of him.
Darrell Waltrip, as we told you, got his lap back during that most recent caution, so he is up to 14th. There's Ted Musgrave, who is in his 100th NASCAR Winston Cup race on the black of your screen. He's in 11th.
Wow, he was up there and just took off. That's great. There he is. Going by Bill Elliott.
No. Dale Earnhardt at the tail end of this lead line.
Bonnie Staley passed away, and I know those guys are going to be sad to get back to work scouting.
And a couple of weeks ago, Wes Wilkinson also
21 to go.
That's why you see the
21 laps left.
Wes and Bonnie inside Dave's
And they got really wadded up on the top.
Well, it looks like
Really getting around, Greg.
pulling away
Yeah, Greg Sachs.
here as Dave Marcus goes to the inside, or is on the inside, and certainly
Dave Marcus, my bad.
on your right.
Yeah, that's right. Not a bad place if everyone's with you, but here comes Lake Speed trying to get by Grissom. He's got Morgan Shepherd to help him take over that third spot. There's Earnhardt trying to get by Mike.
Man, Dale got through a lot. Whoa. Oh. Contact between Waltrip and Earnhardt. Wow. They had Steve Grisham was on the outside of both of them, too. They were bouncing off each other.
Showing a lot of
Same spot where we saw the other 2 big wrecks.
out there. Look at Marlin.
And these guys are slowing each other up at the front. These guys are going for it all. Lake Speed going, Jimmy Spencer to the lead.
The manufacturer's battle here with 2 doors.
And he ain't going to give it up easy.
Not too good. Earnhardt and Michael are still side by side.
They are.
Looks like he's moving to the inside there for just a moment. He's trying to figure out which is the next place to go. He looks at his rear bumper back to Michael Walter. Now Walter pulls ahead of Earnhardt. Not a lot of drafting help there. But Ken Schrader up there riding behind the side. He had a muscle deep group up front when he had the ignition problem. He got that fixed, and now he's right back to the muscle. Ernie is
Oh, there's a bump draft. Ernie Irvan pushing Dave Marcus.
Brett Bodine also struggled getting into this race. He has been on the lead lap, running in 13th position right now.
That's like the first I've seen Brett Bodine this whole race. In 26.
Positions are changing so quick, it really doesn't make any difference. They're all
It is getting dicey.
home where he came to the race.
Time to go. 5-car breakaway. These guys got to get sorted back there. They're still 2 and 3 wide.
Brett hung in the middle, 3
They're going to continue to lose ground because Spencer's got a fast car. Dale Jr. to the lead in the second group. He'll be able to lead them up there. Ernie Irvan's made his way through that group pretty quickly, too.
here in Talladega. It occurred in the summer race in 1976.
Oh, well, let's get a help that these guys are side by side again. What are they doing? They just run single file. I mean, they could make it a race amongst themselves. They're still 17. Oh, Earnhardt's got a big run now. Yeah, they got side by side too long, and now they're too far spaced apart between each other, and Earnhardt caught right up. All over the 4.
This just should be an incredible finish here. If you're just joining us, stay with us. Just a few more laps to go at this.
Yeah, if you're watching now, I wouldn't want to go away from this. They taking a commercial?
500 from Talladega.
They took a commercial with 16 laps to go.
88 laps completed.
16 to go at Talladega. They took a full screen commercial. How many laps do we have left? Probably 10, maybe less. Earnhardt's up to 4th. Ernie Irvan's going for 5th on Waltrip. Musgrave's there, but not enough help. Clear the 30. Oh man, they're letting the top 4 pull away. They do this. Ernie's got to clear him quickly. He should be clear off turn 4. Musgrave's pulling in. Give him a little push. Ernie needs those guys to get single file behind him. 13 to go at the line. 13 laps left.
He's looking for his best opportunity and can't decide which one it is.
Darrell Waltrip. He's been a lap down most of this race, got his lap back, and now he's got a chance at a top 10.
Speed-wise set here today because of 2 lengthy multi-car crashes, but everybody is okay. 156.410 is the race average at the moment. And look at this.
Earnhardt and Irvin going together to get by Morgan Shepherd. They make it. Here comes Michael Walters.
It's hilarious. So they're working together. They've been the 2 fastest cars today. They're going to get to the front. They're going to settle it amongst themselves. Honestly, the 4 quickest cars are running 1 through 4 right now. And Waltrip's up there with those guys too, and I think he's in 6th. Yep. These guys are all really fast. They all missed both, not 1 but 2 big ones. They all missed them. Some of them were in front of it, some were in the middle and just got through. I mean, Jimmy Spencer kind of caused the second one. Got in the back of the 5 with Terry Labonte in the trioval and kind of turned him. That was the bigger of the 2 wrecks also. Ten laps to go at the line. Earnhardt had a run on the 4. Jimmy's getting way out ahead of him too. Jimmy's way too far out ahead. All by himself. I think the 4 and the 3 side drafted each other enough. That's why Spencer pulled away, but now they're back to single file. Dale's coming. And Jimmy is not going to be able to block him. That run's going to be too big. Dale didn't pull out yet. Be maybe a bit patient. Curious if Ernie tries to pull out a line on Earnhardt. He goes with him. He's going to be tough to pass just because of how quick both those cars are. The 28 and the 3 are the 2 fastest. Spencer's right up there with them, but I'd probably say he's just a slight notch below them on speed.
Earnhardt has. Those Ernie Irvin has a lot. Chevrolet.
But if anybody could beat those 2, it would probably be Jimmy Spencer. So with him having the track position, we'll see how long he can hold on for.
5 points ahead of Dale Earnhardt in the battle for the Winston Cup. Jimmy Spencer, 26th in the point standings coming in.
Lap cars at the bottom. Jeff Gordon, Ricky Rudd, they've got damage in the big one. 6 laps left at the line. 8 laps to go.
This situation reminds me so much of the IROC race that was run here yesterday. Steve Kinzer got into the lead, and I think that most people, including myself, quite honestly, thought that with him out front, he would be the most unlikely to win the race, that everybody would gang up and pass him. But he did not, or they did not, and Kinzer went on to win the race.
Oh, Michael Waltrip got a little wide going into 3. Schrader passed him. How did Kenny Schrader get back? Well, I guess the caution punched the field up. Schrader on the lead lap. He was down a cylinder earlier. I didn't even... There's no way Kenny Schrader's still on the lead lap. And if he is, holy crap. Where did he come from? Thought he was out of it. Go.
Six-time winner here.
Obviously, Greg Sachs and Ted Miller side by side. Musgrave is the loser. He's got no one to go with him. I think Irvin wants to go with Earnhardt and pass him at the same time as they get by Spencer. That would be his #1 priority because he realizes if very, very difficult.
5 laps left at the line.
Get themselves in position as quickly as they can to pick up some extra positions.
Sooner the leaders get side by side, the more of a chance those guys in that second group have a chance. There's a little bit of a gap built up between them right now. Michael's barely clinging on to Kenny Schrader in the draft. He got passed by the 25 and he just kind of fell back just a bit. Oh, he got there. Jimmy left the bottom open getting into 1. He got back in line quickly though. That was a good job. He didn't... I was going to say the 28 might have cut him a break there, but there was quite a bit of space though at the same time. That was a good job by not... I mean, he could have got freight trained easily there, honestly. Big gap between the 27 and the 28. 4 to go at the line. Morgan Shepherd pulling out a little early. Schrader to 4th. Michael thought about pulling up.
And the fans are just going absolutely crazy in the grandstands.
Now, Michael Waltrip and King Schrader can hook up together, which they are, get a little momentum going. They can be a factor in this thing.
They want Ernie Irvin's car just not right. Well, it doesn't appear that he's not staying on the back of those cars in front of him to the corner like he...
Ernie's got to run. There he goes. Oh, Jimmy to block. And now slides way up. Dale's getting way too far out ahead. Side by side for second. Jimmy's been very good with the side draft all day today. Look at him just pull the 28. Jimmy didn't, or I should say, yeah, Jimmy had a lot more help. Ernie Irvin still doesn't have a lot of help. Here comes the 4. Marlon, oh my gosh! Look out! Oh my God! Oh! Jimmy Spencer! Oh my goodness! He was zigging and zagging around those slow cars. He went to the apron, then he went 3 wide up the middle. Oh my God! Oh, Marlon. Oh, Waltrip. 3 wide for the lead. Mikey. Oh my goodness! What a finish! What a lap! What a lap!
This has to be one of the best races I have ever seen.
You love to see it. My goodness. It ain't over yet. There's still 2 to go. Get it. Ernie lost a lot of spots there. He's boxed in 5th now, and he can't go anywhere with the 27 and the 25 in front of him. Mikey's so close. 25's got a big run. Ernie Irvin's pushing him. Ernie was so close to clearing Jimmy Spencer. So close. There's like 2 lap cars down on the bottom they're closing in on into the tri-oval. I wonder if... all that work Jimmy Spencer did to get to the inside of Dale like 2 laps ago, and now he's struggling to get a top 5 out of it. Oh, Ernie Irvin's got a run. Look at the run the 28 has in the middle of 1 and 2. He's not out of it yet. Oh, look out. Look out. Waltrip's got to run. Oh, Ernie. What a move. Ernie had a heck of a run off turn 2. Jimmy Spencer's getting back in it, but he got boxed in behind Waltrip. Ernie Irvin. Not going to get it. Earnhardt got it. Yep. Ernie made that thing close, though, at the end. He had a head of steam that entire final lap. That was not easy to hold on to win that. He had to fight off Jimmy Spencer. Then Michael Waltrip made it 3 wide to the bottom. He couldn't quite clear the 3. There was like 2 or 3 instances where Dale Earnhardt almost lost this race in the final couple laps. Wow.
Dale Earnhardt climbs out of this big Chevrolet, grabs his daughter Taylor Nicole, and gets a kiss from Teresa. Dale, congratulations.
Well, thank you. It was a great race today for us, and lucky to win. I want to send our thoughts and prayers to the family of Eric and Senna and all his fans. He was a great racer, and it's a shame to see him go like he did. You know, it's tough, but you know, we had a pretty good day. Our car was right there all day. I don't think it was the fastest or the strongest, but it just kept on coming back to the front and kept on, you know, jockeying for position there. We got sort of ping-ponging around there a little bit at one time, but it got better.
Now, toward the end, it looked like you got surprise after surprise. First Michael Waltrip and then Ernie Irvin.
Yeah, they were running at us, and that's what they were supposed to do. They were supposed to try to win, too. I thought Michael drove a great race, and he was right there all day. It was a little rough out there at 27 car. He thought he was still at Martinsville, Wilkesboro. He was into the side about everybody out there.
Dale Earnhardt gets win number 7, his 3rd on the year, and a belated 43rd birthday present. He was 43 on Friday.
And it's his 38th Super.
I want to go back and look at that 3 to go lap.
Bill Elliott and Darrell Waltrip. And the fans are just.
We got to watch that lap over again. That's got to be the greatest lap of racing I think I've ever seen. Oh my gosh. Jimmy Spencer had a run on the front stretch, was dodging lap cars, and then Michael Waltrip from 5th place out of nowhere got up there. This lap to lap and a half. It all started right there. Dale got too far out ahead once Ernie got to the inside of the 27. 27 tried to block. And then look at this. He just got shot out of a cannon, cleared the 28. He's coming after Earnhardt fast. Then there's lap cars. There's 2 of them side by side. That's how he had to dodges that one down to the bottom. It goes up the middle. He almost ran into the back of that. What a move. I mean, he couldn't clear him, but what a move to get there. And then Waltrip, look how far back Waltrip is, and he just comes up out of nowhere. And he nearly pulled it off. Look at this. And to know that Michael Waltrip never won a race up to this point, too. And he saw, I mean, it was like in his grasp. He was so close. Just couldn't clear him. That was great. That was like one of the best laps at Talladega I've ever seen. That's great.
12 cars are put together, and each of them could win. Michael Waltrip.
And then this was the final lap again.
The white
I mean, look at how far back the 28 is.
Around the 2.6-mile Talladega Superspeedway.
He had a big gap built up, but I mean,
Michael Waltrip and
he was so far right there. I mean, you could see how quickly he's closing. I called it right away. How quick he was closing on him.
a tremendous battle for
I knew he finished second, but I was starting to second guess myself though because he was so far back. Great 3-wide move here. A good thing Earnhardt pulled down when he did too, because 28 had a massive run. Honestly, if Waltrip did clear for third pretty quickly. I'm honestly surprised that the run stalled out by Ernie Irvan. I thought he was going to get to the side of Earnhardt, honestly. What a finish. Crazy race. I mean, Waltrip's always been good on the super speedways, even before his DEI days. I mean, obviously this race proved it, but he was up in the top 5 pretty much the whole race. Didn't lead a lot of laps, but he was there the whole race. The 1999 Daytona 500 and the number 7 car, he was up in contention like the whole race too. Ran top 5. I think he finished, what, 2nd or 3rd that day? 4th? I know he had a top 5 finish. But, yeah, no shock that he ended up in that 15 car for DEI when he did. Alrighty, well, that was fun. Yeah, that 3 to go in the 1994 Winston Select 500 at Talladega had to be one of the best laps at Talladega I've ever watched. Hopefully, that gets topped this weekend at Talladega. Well, that's going to wrap up tonight's stream. Again, no live commentary streams this weekend. Sorry for that, but I will be at Talladega this weekend. It'll be my first NASCAR race I'm going to this season. I'll be there for all of this weekend's events for the ARCA on Saturday, Xfinity Saturday, Cup on Sunday. There will be race highlight videos from the grandstands for all races. Compilation video for all of those from start to finish. Just kind of the best moments of what I am able to film this weekend. Usually between 20 minutes to 30. The ARCA stream the ARCA highlight video might be closer to like 10-15 minutes, just depending on what all goes down in that one. But as far as the Xfinity and the Cup Series races, those will probably be anywhere between 20 minutes to a half hour. And then the actual, there will be individual uploads as well from those Xfinity and Cup races that you'll have to look out for. So be tuned into the channel. You won't want to miss it. Subscribe. There are race highlight videos from every race I go to. When I'm not at the racetrack, as you guys probably know already, do live commentary streams of the weekend for the NASCAR Truck, Xfinity, and Cup. So next live commentary streams will be for Dover the following week. Xfinity Series will be racing Saturday afternoon at Dover next week. Not this week, but next week. And then that week as well, Cup Series will be at Dover on Sunday. So we'll be back. Those races will be on FS1 as well. So if you don't have cable or any way of watching it, you can tune right here on the channel. Great race. Glad we watched it. Thank you for everybody voting for this one in the community tab poll. You can definitely do so every Monday on the channel. I'll have the Dover polls up hopefully before I leave my hotel on Monday morning for Talladega. Worst case scenario, when I get back later Monday night, I'll have the poll up for you guys to vote. But thank you, and until next time, thanks for watching, everybody. Next stream will be Tuesday. More than likely NASCAR 07, but I'm not entirely sure. Maybe NASCAR 22, we'll see. But I'm on vacation Tuesday, so I'll definitely be shooting for stream. As long as rain stays away this weekend, which I know for Sunday it's looking like it as of right now. So, yeah, rain stays away this weekend. I'll be home Monday night, and we'll get back to streaming Tuesday. Have a good rest of your weekend, everybody.